Hopefully this is actually working. There should be a starting soon image somewhere on there with the wrong logo, but that's okay. It will make do for now. It references the old G4TE site.
Okay.
Do you guys see us live on Twitch?
I'm looking. Yeah.
Yeah?
Not yet.
How about now?
OC podcast offline.
No, we're live. And I've got an advertisement to prove it. Just what I wanted to see.
Of course. Yep. I've got it, so we're live.
All right.
Yep.
Well, shit. Let's do this thing.
Alrighty then.
I'm gonna try and drive as much as possible, appropriately, all that good stuff. I'll let you know when we're. Yeah. Let's just.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
OC podcast.
Music is playing now.
Oh, really?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Damn, I wish I would have changed this.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Oh, that's brilliant. Somebody's got their audio going, so let's kill that. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's episode 452 of the Overseas Connection podcast, the official podcast of craziness. We've got Christmas right around the corner. We have our hats on. We've got bells jingling. It's December 9th, 2017. This is not the usual format. This is a makeshift podcast. Yeah, it's kind of off the hook, a little crazy. But hopefully you're able to see some faces. You're able to hear some audio at this point in time. That's about the best I could muster up. I thought I had it all squared away and figured out, and then there was a screeching halt of realization that I was not even close. So,
Oops.
yeah, this is what happens when you put in the B team. I am officially now the B team when it comes to podcast production. Maybe even the C team. I think we can probably lower the bar even that much further. Mark not feeling well tonight, so Mark, get better. And with that said, let's do the intros. Let's talk about stuff. We're a video game podcast. We talk about life. We talk about video games. We talk about the weather sometimes. Yeah. And I'm Greg DeLazy, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter, Murphy's Law on Xbox Live. And with us this week, we have Miss Kim Woods.
Howdy, everybody.
Don't mind me. Just go.
Okay. Go for it. I'm GamerGirl27, just about everywhere. That's Steam, that's Xbox, that's Twitter, you know. If you don't know that by now, I don't know what to tell you. I guess that's about it. It's a nice and frosty 28 degrees here. And I am also wearing my Santa hat without the bells. So, you know, no bells today.
Yeah, the bells might drive me crazy. I wore this hat last week when I wine tasted, and it drove me also crazy because I kept hearing the bells, and I'm like, who's jingling? And I'm like, oh, it's me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, no. How drunk were you? You didn't know the bells were you. That's what I want to know.
We hit 6 wineries. That should say it all right there. We got around pretty well. Also on the show this week, Mr. Robin Tate.
Hey, good evening. My goodness, this wine tasting thing is turning into a profession with you.
It is a bit of a hobby.
Should we be worried?
At this rate, yes.
God, you're like bloody naughty tonight with that hat on. Those bells. You know, the hat, yes. I mean, I'm wearing it, and Kim's wearing hats because it's bloody cold. In fact,
This
I'm
is a
I think a bit
fashion
colder.
statement.
Damn right.
Yeah, that says a lot about you, Greg. It's Robin Tate here in Ballymena in Northern Ireland. Good evening. I am not hosting tonight. The professional, fantastic Greg DeLacy is doing that tonight, and he looks like he's under pressure. Mark, I hope you're feeling better soon. We realise how inadequate we are without you. You are a hell of a man and a judge of fine wines and a great scholar and a reader of the Beano. Yes. So we had a big dump of snow here a few days ago, and big for us actually. So I don't know. I'm around my garden, and the back fields must be 6 inches in places. We're quite high.
So wait, hold on, Robin. You're telling me you wear that hat like normally?
Today when I was out working around the house, and that's one of my skiing hats. Yeah, from skiing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not just for a laugh. You've got for a laugh, and Kim is one of Santa's helpers. This is a particularly fashionable Viking pointy hat.
Right.
And do you know what? It's been so cold today. It's been one of those beautiful days where it's been really, really cold, like crisp, not just a bit cold and a wee bit slippy. The snow has been crisp and powdery, and everything is icy underneath, and it's been lovely. And I've been crunching around. Well, sorry, I had to go to a client's site. I left the house at just before 6 this morning. I had a team of guys stripping a store out, but I got back home again about 9:30. But I haven't really. Glenn and I and some of the kids, but especially Glenn and I, have been outside all day. I put some more lights up, but we have a little tree that I put lights up at the bottom of our driveway, and some lights in the bushes, and it's been great. I've had a ball today. I've hardly been inside. It's just been one of those fantastic days. And tonight, Greg, was a showstopper. The bandstand paid for itself completely tonight. We had all my nephews and nieces over, and Judith was on cooking like mad. We had a big pot of chili, and then we had she had Christmas Santa letters to write. So she'd made up all these little crafts and kits. So all the kids came in and wrote Santa letters and put glitter on them and all stuff like that. And then she made them. She had all the shortbread made, and little star pieces. If you can see a star piece of shortbread, all different sizes. And she made them. All the kids made Christmas trees with these, with icing and decorations. And then to top it all, Santa Claus arrived at our house.
Yes. So I think we need to have a conversation about this, Robin.
Oh, this was fucking. It was awesome. So for those of you. Spoilers ahead. If you don't want any spoilers about Santa, skip ahead about 2 minutes, okay?
I can't
fair warning.
Skip ahead. I was deeply disturbed by this.
Fair warning. Okay, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to get Santa. We wanted to get our own personal Santa, and I can't believe how flippin', I don't know, posh that sounds, our own personal Santa.
Yes.
So all the nephews and nieces came, and we had a grotto set up. I had the studio light set up for the camera. So the camera was all set up with a big studio light set up to take footies.
Right.
And Santa, I spoke to a neighbor of mine, and he had a friend we bought a Santa suit, and he said he would do this. So he got fully dressed with the beard and all the bits and pieces, big lad. And at 8 o'clock there tonight, a van arrived, a recovery van with yellow flashing lights and lights going on off everywhere, came down our driveway, and Santa Claus got out of this big van thing, and we were all singing Jingle Bells as he came along, and all the kids were excited. He went up into the bandstand and gave the kids some presents. We'd organised some chocolate Santa Clauses, and we got photographs taken with them all. And just to see the kids' faces, It was fabulous. It was a wonderful, magical night, and with the snow and the crispness and no wind, and it was just a brilliant night. It's just, today has been awesome. It has been an awesome family day. Just, I feel so lucky to be able to have done that for my kids.
Right.
I feel so privileged, to be able to have done that. But just, it was class day.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it
podcasting.
was fantastic. But you had Santa there, and
Oh,
we were
yeah,
visiting
yeah.
Santa at the exact same time, Robin. I don't know how this can happen. Also, your Santa slightly different looking than my Santa, so I am now starting to think Santa might not be real, and I'm crushed.
Well, that's the spoilers, but
Yep.
so we did chat a little about my Santa. So I went up with the sack of presents today, walked up to give it so Santa could come down with them, and he was telling me about this guy. I didn't know who the Santa was. It was a friend of my neighbour's, because my neighbour wouldn't do it. I hoped he'd do it, but he says, no, I've got somebody that will.
Right.
So Johnny says, don't worry, Johnny will be right into this. He'll love this. He is schizophrenic, but
Okay.
he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Right.
So so we survived. At one point I was expecting, I wonder, should I pat him down to see if he had a big knife somewhere?
Right.
I was going, happy
Ouch.
fucking Christmas, happy happy
Yeah.
Christmas.
Maybe not the personal Santa you wanted.
No, but it was, even still, it twisted it even more. It was great. It was really good. So we're all exhausted. All the kids, all absolutely wrecked up very late tonight, and it's been a good day. Good day.
Excellent. Well, you know what? That is fantastic. And the pictures you sent over, it looked like you guys had a really good time. So a little jealous that you guys had the posh Santa. We had the not so posh Santa. But oh well.
Well, at least he wasn't schizophrenic. I mean,
True.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if you're
Yeah.
listening to this right now, little formalities to get out of the way real quick. You can catch us every week broadcasting on Twitch, on Mixer, and we're even on the YouTube. So if you're not catching the show live, you can listen to it on audio. We do put out an audio version of the podcast, usually about 24 hours later. You can find that on iTunes, on Stitcher, wherever you find your podcast fix. But if you do want to join us live and you want to jump into the chat and be part of the conversation as we're recording, it's super simple. 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. on the East Coast, and as we swing out towards the east over the Atlantic into the UK, it's going to be 11 p.m. in the UK when we go on live. But yeah, just join us up. Twitch.tv/OC Podcast or Mixer.com/OC Podcast. And crossing our fingers that I have done all this properly today, we are broadcasting hopefully on both of those. And also that you can hear us. That's the other big part of this. Because like 10 minutes before you jumped on, Robin, Kim and I were sitting there and my audio was doing some crazy stuff. I mean, I'm like, oh, okay, this is new. This is sounds I haven't heard before. So, there's that. Anyway, all right.
Anyway, do you know what? It's also for our Russian listeners, it's 2 a.m. for them. So, just to let them know, in Moscow right now, it's 2 a.m. So last week it was Osaka, Japan. This week it's Moscow, 2 a.m. Good morning.
There you go. I don't know what to say. I'm realizing now. No. I'm realizing now all the things I didn't carry over from my old computer, I've got to like reset up. So all the sound clips, I have a bunch of old sound clips. I have none of the new sound clips.
Cool.
So
retro.
This is totally retro. I mean, the sexy Nicole outro stuff not present. We're gonna have to do our own version. Maybe we'll do it live. We'll have Robin do a live reading. Kim, maybe we're gonna have to do have you do some kind of we're talking about video games intro clip. I don't know. We're gonna play it by ear. This is this is grassroots. This is going back old school.
All right. Okay. So more important stuff. So what was your event today with your Santa? How did that come about? What was going on there?
Yeah, so that was real simple actually. We had a local church that was putting on a special needs event for all the special needs kids in the area to come down and see Santa and do some crafts and games, and so that's what we were doing. We went down and participated and got Colin to see Santa, and for the first time in probably a few different years, Colin did not attempt to rip Santa's beard off. That's been a thing every year. He just reaches up and just grabs hold of that beard and tries to yank. But yeah, so no Santa damage this time.
We had to get Stanley, the neighbor, to switch off the flashing lights on the truck.
Right.
Because Glenn just ran straight towards him, because that was like catnip to him. Anything flashing, don't see. He ran straight towards the truck. But it's fair play to Glenn today. He sat up beside Santa, and it was straight away, just all chuffed. So that was cool. Yeah, it's nice. Kim, but you have this hat on tonight.
Yes.
So is there a story behind the hat, or are you just starting to feel festive?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, because I finally got a Christmas tree up. And odd fact, I haven't had a Christmas tree up in over 4 years. Other than the drugstore, Charlie Brown tree that actually looks like the Charlie Brown tree from the cartoon. I had one of those, but I didn't actually ever have a Christmas tree up for like the last 4 or 5 years anyway. So, I thought this year we had the space for it. And, I thought, well, maybe the cats won't tear it up too badly. And so far, they've been okay. So, I guess I'm not Scrooge anymore. So
I just always thought we were just celebrating Hanukkah or something like that.
That's it, yeah. I'm secretly Jewish.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I want to celebrate everything. Oh, me, like I work for a company in a different country, and they have different bank holidays than us, but I like to support them and all their bank holidays and take my own as well. So
well, sure, why not?
It works, right? So just exactly. So I support it all. Definitely believe in nothing and support everything.
Right.
It's wonderful. Hey, so I have my Cards T-shirt on today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals, yes. Arizona Cardinals, football, NFL football. That's just for those wondering.
And I had to go and get my Charlie today. He's starting rugby tryouts, which is
excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So he's trying. So he needed to get a pair of rugby boots and a new gum shield today. So we're in, and it's amazing when you wear a piece of NFL stuff here, which is because NFL is not a thing. Right. But it's amazing when you put this on how many NFL fans that come out of the woodwork. Right. So this was a Seahawks guy today in the sports store. He says, do you like NFL? I says, yeah. Who's your team? Cards? Yeah. Oh, right. Geez, I'm Seahawks. Sorry about that. And so I said, well, you know what? Doesn't matter. As long as it's not the Broncos, we're okay. He says, I agree with you there.
Nice. I love it.
So it has quite a following over here.
It's catching on.
Niches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
well,
sadly,
God knows they've been doing a lot to promote it there. I mean, heck, they've held 3 games this year in London.
Yeah, so that's weird.
They've been making efforts to cross the pond. I think they would love to take the NFL even more international than it is. We'll see how that goes. I know the London games are tough for the NFL teams that play here, just because it's a 1 week turnaround. They're flying over there. They're kind of getting settled in. It's not the easiest of trips, especially if there's a West Coast team. That's a long haul.
So do you think they're flying coach?
Probably.
You think?
No. I'd like to think that. Well, it depends on the team. Some teams have their own private planes, and then other teams are going to be flying. With a carrier, but I would imagine they probably are flying first class. But it's 53 men, so maybe they are flying coach, because I mean that's a lot of guys to throw onto a plane.
Business class, yeah. I think my guys, they fly in some sort of OAP ambulance plane with a whole injury department that's there.
Yeah.
And the plane supplied with Zimmer frames for the Cardinals.
You guys have
seems to
had
be
your
the way
share of
of it.
injuries, man. You definitely have.
Oh, dearie me. Dearie me, what do you do? And
You know
anything
what
else
you do?
weird happened?
You turn it off, you turn the football off, and you throw on Netflix, and you start watching The Punisher. That'll make you feel better.
Watched it, done it, finished
Yep.
it this week.
I'm about halfway through. Halfway through. So far, I like it. I believe we were talking a little bit about the pairing that he has, kind of a sidekick that he brings along.
Yeah.
He
Gene
does
Wilder.
remind me of Gene Wilder. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's good. There's a few flat bits in it. It is a few. It gets a bit drama here and there, and it's a wee bit now and again. But overall, I like it. I mean, when he gets the bit at the end where he can see through walls and X-ray vision and stuff, that was a bit.
What about the fire breathing? I felt that was a little over the top.
He said, "I'll tell you what, the man takes some punishment."
Yes.
But yes, look, a good, refreshing superhero, non-superhero series.
That is kind of the interesting thing, is he really isn't a superhero. If you think about it.
You could say that
he's
he
a
recovers from
killing
his injuries very quickly.
True. I guess you could say that. He certainly does seem to recover from a beating or two.
A lot of folks had said that the Mindhunter was a very good thing as well. Mindhunter. Have you been watching it, Kim?
I watched that here, I don't know, it's been a month or so ago, and it was very good. I really liked it.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I had to start the second episode again on the next day because I fell asleep 3/4 of the way through it. There's some sexy time in it.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The opening 5 minutes of the first episode is, wow, is what this is going to be? And then it sort of goes, it's like a boat. I'm a bit slow. But yeah, look, maybe grow on me. I'm going to stick with it because it's quite interesting. And I don't know if it's a historical any sort of historical document at all. Is there some fact to it?
Yeah, sort of. It's basically the story of how they came up with criminal profiling.
Oh.
So
Well, that's interesting.
And the two guys that come up with it. So yeah, there's some fact to it.
Now, the big thing that started in the UK, and I don't know if you get it over there yet. I'm sure you do. Probably is it the Queen? The Queen? Shit, what's it called? Damn it, almighty.
The Crown?
Hold on a second. The Crown. The Crown.
Yeah, I think we get it.
Yeah. So the second series has just started last night on it, on Netflix as well. It is it Amazon or Netflix? Netflix. It is fantastic. It really, really is. The first season of that was awesome. I mean, really interesting about the Queen and that sort of behind the curtain. I'd really love to know how much is real.
Right.
And I'm sure it's based on the historical facts, but it's dramatized. So the first episode of season 2 has started now, and we love it. So that's lots of good stuff to watch over Christmas and stuff. Lots of good stuff to watch. Are you all sorted? Have you have all your Christmas presents sorted? Are they all done?
Not at all.
They're ordered, but they're not here yet. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No. There's still a little bit of shopping. Most of the shopping is done, but there's a few things that need to be done.
Even internationally, they can be sorted long ahead of time.
Yes,
as
they
you
can.
know, Greg.
Yes, they can.
Sorted long ahead of.
Yes.
So anyway. All right, sorry, I thought I'm in the hosting mode. I'm going to sit back a bit.
It's all good. We're just having a conversation. That's what I love about it. We can just chit-chat away and talk about what we want to talk about. What I would love to talk about real quick, Kim, I think you are on the chat stream. Maybe give some shout-outs to those people. I know we had a few people already in the chat.
Sure. We have Soul Brother. We have Night Raven 19. Martin is in there, so
Cheers to you guys. I was actually trying to pay attention to the chat for a little bit, and then I got a lovely message from Verizon as I was doing that, because I was doing it on my phone. You are almost at your data cap. Like, I cannot wait for just data caps to go completely away. But yeah, I suppose I could go to an unlimited plan, but I just don't want to pay for it.
Hold on.
That's what I have. I have the unlimited stuff.
But why are you not on your Wi-Fi on your phone in your house?
I actually was not on the Wi-Fi with my phone from earlier. I've switched over to that now. But I wasn't there. So I got the notification. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not on Wi-Fi. That's always the lovely. Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, are mobile phone calls expensive in the States? No, I mean, because normal landline phones have pretty much disappeared. We could do...
Right.
The only person that phones our landline here is Judith's mum. And that's weird, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody else phones Judith and or myself on our mobile. We could do without a landline completely now. Because phone calls are cheap. You get free minutes and free this, that, and the other. And I think the landline is almost gone now.
We only have a landline in this house because of my work. I only have it because of my office. We don't have one for the actual house. So we just use our cell phones for everything.
Because I mean, my phone bill is astronomical because it's got better over the years, but because I work for a southern company and I cross countries from Northern Ireland into southern Mexico, whatever its real name is, when I dial from here, it's sort of almost international calls to my company. So my phone bill now came down a lot, but my phone bill on a monthly basis used to be, thank God I didn't pay for it, was maybe £300 or £400.
Yeah,
$500 a month. You know?
I'm just shy of probably 200. I'm probably in like the 160, 180 range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's probably came down to about that now. Yeah. Cool. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Cell phones. Hey, they're a thing.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right.
Martin's missing the wood panels. I have to get some wood panels.
We do need some wood panels. We do.
You know, I get the old house tore down. We'll see what we can do.
I think you should save just a couple and just like
I
prop
thought
them up
about
on
it.
the wall.
Like frame them up and hang them behind here somewhere, you know.
There you go.
Wait till the podcast, then take them down when we're done, you know.
Yeah, it'd make it like a screen behind you, so you just prop them up. All right, let's talk about some video games. This is where we normally have some kind of intro saying, I want to play a game, nerds, things like that. And there we go.
I want to play a game.
There you go. Yes.
Yay,
so
we're
video
playing a
games. All right. Kim, I'm going to start with you because I see a game on here that I really want to hear about.
Me too.
It's not a gem-related game.
Shock, right? Oh boy. Yeah, yesterday, the day before, I can't remember which. I had some Microsoft points, bucks, whatever you want to call them, lying around. Actually, they were my brother's, and I stole them because he doesn't game much anymore. So I figured, what the hell?
I love
Somebody
it.
might as well use them, right?
Theft.
Thiefdom.
Yes. All right. Yes.
Yeah.
That tastes sweet. It tastes sweet. It's illicit.
Yes.
Very good.
Those are the best.
The best part is he's got 12 months of Xbox Live too. So if I run out, I'm set. But anyway, I digress.
And then you just say, I do not know what happened to your stuff. It was there.
We lost him when we moved. I don't know what happened.
Yep.
Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they've had some good sales, and I noticed that Super Lucky's Tale was on sale, and Dragon's Dogma was on sale, and I kind of wanted both of them. I got to thinking, well, you know, Lucky's Tale would probably be good if Tony came over and wanted to, you know, play something, because it's got the cute little fox and yada yada yada. So I thought for $20, what the hell.
Right.
So anyway, I picked it up. We started playing it last night, which, you know, side note, if you have a 4-year-old and you're trying to play a game, they will not shut up. Ever. I'm telling you, I thought he would sit there and he'd, you know, have his controller and he'd play and you know, there would be no questions or anything. No, I was wrong, sadly.
Yes.
But anyway, back to the game. It's a good game for $20. It's a lot like the older Spyro games. You know, when Spyro was getting started?
Yeah.
That's what this is a lot like. It's a lot like that. The camera is a little janky because I don't know how many times trying to go down a platform, I thought I was in the middle of the platform, and somehow or another, I would walk right off one side or down the other, and of course, I would die. So, but I'm not very far. I think I completed, I don't know, 1 or 2 worlds last night. And like I said, for $20, or even, I think it's not on sale, I think it's $30. If you're looking for a good little platformer that kind of reminds you of Spyro, if that was your thing, yeah, go for it. Give it a shot.
I was looking at it last night on the Xbox store, and I was so tempted and then I followed off to say, Robin, you log, wait, it can wait. But it's not. It's now £12.99, so that's about $16.
Yeah.
So it's dropped again since the Black Friday sale. So yeah, I mean at $12.99, there's a lot worse that we've paid for.
Exactly.
For $12.99.
They know you're
I
watching,
played it at
Robin.
EGX.
They know you're watching.
I played it. Yeah, so it definitely is the Spyro. It is sort of Banjo-Kazooie. It is that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a bit jank. It's funny that it launched with the Xbox One X, as a launch title. Maybe it should have been delayed a little bit because it's just a nice little stocking filler. If you got that for Christmas, you wouldn't be unhappy. It's a nice little, it's a palate cleanser of a game. So yeah,
exactly. If you're looking for something that doesn't require a lot of thinking or something like that, this would be your game. So
yeah, okay. Or if you're not very clever, and you can't finish games, and you're a bit thick, this would be the game for you as well. I mean, if you're challenged mentally, this would be a good one. Yeah, I think it might actually be you'd be shooting too high there.
Wow. That was
maybe something a bit more basic. Some of those match 3 games. If you could get a match 2 game, that would be really good for you, Greg. Or a match 1. You could be at that all day. You'd be so good at it.
I don't like you right now, Robin. I don't like you at all.
Ouch.
It always happens once per show.
Yeah.
Maybe twice.
What was it? Last episode, I think people were wanting to call or have somebody call me Muppet. All the way up until the end. So yes. Kim, let's talk about mobile games.
Yes.
Let's talk about Torchlight Mobile. So I didn't know. It's funny. I have Torchlight on my computer. Did this recently come out, or has it been out for a while?
Well, I don't know. See, and that's what I'm a little.
I'm assuming
confused
it's been out for a while.
Because we all know. Yeah, I assume because I just noticed on their Facebook page after Runic closed down. Mm-hmm. The other ones, the bigger ones, I guess that the all encompasses it, come out with a Facebook post and said they were having a closed beta for a Torchlight mobile game. So I thought, oh, cool, I like Torchlight. This should be good. So I put my name in the hat, and a couple of days later, I got the email saying, okay, go here, download the closed beta, yada yada yada. Well, then I did some digging. And apparently this Torchlight mobile game has been in the works since like 2015. So okay. I don't know. And I guess other people have been playing it because there are some people that just apparently absolutely despise it. I have had no problem with it. It runs and it looks just like Torchlight did on the computer. I think it's pretty good. But, other people don't agree. So I don't know if they are redoing it or something and then going to relaunch it later, or what exactly they look, because if you think if it's been out since 2015 and other people's already been playing it for a while, why would they have a closed beta? So I'm confused.
How does it control, Kim? Is it controlled by like a slide of the finger, or do you just where you want your torchy guy to go?
Yeah, you kind of slide your finger around. It's got a little like joystick thing that pops up on the screen every now and again. You can control it that way, and it controls really well. I was a little skeptical, but it does really well. And then you've got your little controls off to the side for your sword or whatever weapon you use, and you have your little pets like always. So yeah, it's like Torchlight only on your tablet or your phone or what have you. So I don't know.
Is it Torchlight 1, or is it sort of a mix between 1 and 2?
I think it's kind of a mix between the two, because I think they call it Torchlight: The Legend Continues or something like that. Okay. I have some funky name because I'm in the beta, but if you go back and you research it, I think it's The Legend Continues or something like that. So,
it's a game I always, because I love Diablo and I always meant to play this, but I've just never got around to I think Torchlight 2 is the better of the two of them.
I would agree with that.
I've never just got around to it, so I really must pick it up. And it really hasn't, and it was never really been one of those ones that has ever got that cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Torchlight 2, so maybe it'll appear again somewhere. So
yeah.
Okay, good. I'll look into that. Is that a free-to-play thing? Is it, or just because it was the beta?
Yeah, it's a free-to-play because that was another one, and a lot of people were bitching about that. It's free-to-play and microtransactions. But I've been playing it off and on for a while now, and I haven't come across any microtransactions or anything like that.
So has it officially launched then, or is it still in beta?
That's the thing. Where I'm at is apparently still in beta.
Okay.
But like I said, if you do some looking, apparently it's been out for a while. So I don't know, like I said, if they're trying to relaunch it.
Maybe like a preview program where they just launch the beta and so they're launching it that way, but it's technically in beta, but it's actually been released. Kind of like Minecraft, right? Minecraft was out for years.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think maybe what the deal is too, they have launched it like over in Japan and places like that, and so maybe they're just now getting around to launching it over here.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Japan.
I think that's so.
Japan.
I don't know. Like I said, if it ever comes out, I recommend it. I like it. I haven't had any problems with it. It's a little glitchy, but then it's a beta, so it's gonna be a little glitchy. But I don't know. It brings
I am writing Torchlight down.
But if you like Torchlight, I say go for it. So
how many bells out of 4 would you give it?
I would give it 3.5.
3.5.
Ding dong! Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
All right.
After that, then I take a drink.
Oh, nice.
Well, I can sort of follow on from there about mobile games a wee bit if I can. I'll add that wee one in. A game that's very, very close to my heart was Monument Valley. Mm-hmm. I played it at a time in my life when when one of my parents was ill, and I spent quite a bit of time in hospital, and while they were sleeping and stuff, and I was sitting there, I played Monument Valley, and it's a beautiful little game. What is that? What is the artist? The 3D perspective as you Escher. So they're all sort of Escher paintings, sort of puzzlers as you turn things around, and it was a beautiful little game, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful sound, especially when you can play it with headphones on. It really adds to it. So Monument Valley 2 is available, and it's now brought in and a second character, so there's a slightly new mechanic. Now it's more of the same, and the mechanic is now you've got 2 people. You've got your daughter this time with you. It is still beautiful. The sound is gorgeous. The puzzles are not really, really hard. It's a lovely, beautiful little game that I recommend everybody play. Monument Valley and Monument Valley 2. I've played, I don't know, a couple of hours of it now. So it's beautiful. So beautiful sound, beautiful to look at. Works really well on the mobile platform. And Monument Valley 2, I would give a big bongo thumbs up, definitely.
How many bells? No, we won't do that. All right, but Robert, how much is it? How much is it?
It was quite dear for a mobile game. It was £4.99, which is what, $6 or $7. Right. But because I had so much good stuff with the first one, I don't mind. I don't mind that. That was fair enough for a mobile game. It was dear, but I appreciate those developers and I want to support them. So that was good in the mobile sphere.
The mobile sphere.
Mobile sphere.
What's the seasons after fall? Let's talk about that. We'll get to.
Okay, yeah. Well, as you do when the sales are on, you keep on flicking through and flicking through and flicking through. And I noticed Seasons After Fall a few months ago, and Seasons After Fall is a platformer. A bit you're on to. Let's talk about like Ori and the Blind Auntie Forest.
Right.
Forrest Gump. Ori and the Blind Forest. So it's in the style of that. It is hand painted. Like brush strokes, really like almost like pastels, and no clearly defined lines. Like everything looks like it's completely hand drawn, And it is very, very Ori and the Blind Forest as far as the theme is concerned. You know, this is the you play as a seed for some strange reason. You come up from the ground and you take over the body of a fox. So you play as a fox character in this, and you go and release the seasons. Spring, okay, we know what the 4 seasons are, and that's not Vivaldi. So winter, summer, spring, fall, and you can change the world, and to jump to winter or to jump to summer or jump to spring. So one would be very rainy, the spring would be very rainy, autumn would be a bit crispy and things are dying, winter icy. Yeah, you get so to get past certain things like maybe there's a wall that you can't climb up, but if you make it wet and fill the basin that is in front of you, the shape of the valley full of water, and jump into winter, it freezes over, you can walk over the top of the ice.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I played it for this week for, I don't know, I released all of the seasons, and I thought, well, I heard it was quite short, but it seems to be a fair bit longer than I thought, because the game continues after where I am right now. It is very nice. The sound is nice. The levels are good. It's not as good as Ori and the Blind Forest, but it's I like this sort of game. And it was as cheap as chips, and it still is as cheap as chips, like £3 or £4. And it is nice. So it's, again, if you like Ori and the Blind Forest and you want a wee taster of that, Seasons of the Fall is something to worth having a wee look at.
Okay. Excellent. And
it's funny. Sorry, I'm just one of these. All these cheap games that are popping up. Right. I'm going through it, doing a lot of this gifting business.
You're playing the role.
So
of
when
Santa
I see a wee
Claus.
cheap game. Yeah, like this pay it forward thing. I'm enjoying that. So I'm going to see a wee game that I really like, and it's only a couple of quid. I'm just going, oh, okay, who on that? The only problem with the gifting that I found is, I know if you have it, you can send it back and stuff like that.
Right.
It would be lovely if they could do a search on the person that you're sending it to's database to see if they have it or not, rather than going, oh, well, who do you send this to?
Well, technically, you can. I mean, the workaround for that is you go do a compare achievements.
Yeah, but that's a bit long in the tooth.
Right. It's definitely not the ideal way to do it, but at least that is the workaround for it. I really hope, and I'm hopeful they will figure out a way to do international gifting, because I think that for our community in particular would be super awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I've had a word with Larry, and he's working on it.
Right.
So, we'll see. I suppose part of it is the exchange rate and stuff like that there, so people don't abuse it. But you know what? For gifting, what are you going to gift? Are you going to gift to someone? They can't sell it. They might get it a bit cheaper. How much are they going to lose in the scheme of things? Really.
Yeah.
And it would be a nice thing to do that. Maybe it's something about licensing in territories, but. Yeah. If it's licensed for all the territories, what's the problem?
Yeah,
because I would love to gift guys.
I was going to say there might be some restrictions to that, and I think licensing absolutely probably is a part of it. But it certainly seems like it's a system that could be, a solution could be found.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they've turned a blind eye to game sharing with yourself and Mark.
Well, brothers, hello. Brothers,
yeah, right? I know that.
Robin,
but if you wanted to,
brothers, yeah.
I'm not wanking anything.
Wink, Robin, wink, not wank. Wink.
Oh, it's a language barrier. We speak the same language, but we don't. Yeah, I mean, if they're, but you'd think it wouldn't be too hard for somebody in Microsoft to say, oh, well, hold on, that guy's in the UK and that guy's in the land of Lulus. They're doing something slightly dodgy here. Let's shut that down. And they haven't done that. So I don't see why this is a problem, or should be. Maybe, but then again, it's a new thing, so hopefully it'll develop. It would
For
be
the
nice.
record, if I get in trouble like next week for game sharing, you are going to be getting a phone call, mister. All right, real quick, Forza 7. I want to get that out of the way.
Yes.
'Cause then
Okay,
I
yeah.
want to talk about the other game.
Now this week I have completed one of the complete full series. Where I was last night, I'm now working through the special events.
Right.
And last night was I started an endurance race, so my Xbox hasn't been switched on. It's in sleep mode. It was 81 laps of Sebring. Yeah.
Wowee.
81 laps. That was about like a
81
minute.
laps.
About a minute 5 per lap. Yeah, that's quite long. I think I got to 25 laps last night and I went, oh, I have to stop. Because I put it on quite a hard difficulty, and at 25 laps I had just about got myself into the lead. And at that point, you're trying to keep ahead on the sort of expert level of the drivers, or one below unbeatable. So yeah, but I'll work my way through it. Hopefully, when I maybe get a chance tomorrow, I'll switch it on and I'll pick up where I left off. Because the thought of having to start from the beginning to do the 81 laps special endurance event would drive me insane. One thing that has happened this week with Forza, their leagues have now opened up.
Yes.
And I played a few league races. They've started off with no collisions, which is nice. And there's sort of weekly challenges that opened up the way it's going to go. Be interesting how that all works. Yeah, because I know general multiplayer is there, but you don't really, apart from seeing how much another player has played, you can't work out how good they are or not.
Right.
You know, say if they have a rank 150, that's just the length of time, even though if they were really crap. So this here may, rate people a bit better as far as trying to get a game with non-twats that are going to try and bump you off the side of the road, that are serious enough about their driving, because there's nothing more annoying than playing with randoms that.
See, again, I feel like this is directed at me, Robin. I don't know why. I'm just saying.
So it's really weird. I had you in my head there, and I didn't want to say, but you read my mind, and truth hurts.
Yeah,
Suck it up.
But
deal with it.
The league thing, though, if you think about the way our community has played Forza in the past years, and this is going back many, many years, we have oftentimes had actual leagues set up where we had teams racing against one another. I recall this is going back to the G4TE days, but they literally had kind of a ranking system with points being assigned for finishes and carrying that on in a league setting. This is kind of bringing that from pen and paper, if you will, to the game.
There's a ton of content in it, with that, the Forza-thon thing with the daily challenges, and now this, and there's lots of stuff there.
Right.
Sorry, Sarah actually makes a very good point. RCGC in the chat, she said that there's a wish list on PSN. She says, but I think you can only see it on the app or the computer, not on the actual PS4. Weird. Always forgot about it in games. But that would be great if you had that gifting thing, if you like Steam, if you had a wish list, that would be a lovely, nice thing to do as well. So anyway, listen up, Larry.
Yeah, it's an effective way to sell more games. Just saying.
Yeah.
And nudge.
Let's talk about Wolfenstein 2. Sorry.
Wolfenstein.
Yes.
Is it Stein or Steen? Which one annoys Nicole the most?
I'm a Steen. Yeah, a Wolfenstein.
Yeah. She's a Stein, isn't she?
I think so.
She's Stein. Yeah. It's Steen, Nicole. Steen.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
This game, absolutely gorgeous on the X in 4K. I have to say I was taken aback by how good it looked. Didn't expect it to look that great. And yeah, fantastic looking game. I listened to last week's podcast. I heard the comments Fraser had to say. I heard some of what you were saying, Robin, and I tend to agree. I think this game, unfortunately, does a lot of the same from the previous iterations, and that's probably the biggest disappointment I have, is that the gameplay from time to time feels very
flat.
Yeah, flat. That's a great way to put it. It's just more the same, and you're just kind of getting through it. But I will say the story is really good. I'm, every time I start feeling like, the gameplay's kind of flat and I'm getting a little bored with it, I get just roped back in by the story, and I'm like, all right. And clearly, by the way, Wolfenstein is winning out. No, Stein. Steen.
So I'm at the bit now. I haven't played it much this week. I have played it a bit. I've got but it's weird. The first one, just I couldn't wait to get back to it, and maybe it's just this. That's with the flatness of it. It's like I'm not in a hurry, and maybe it's because I'm not in a hurry to rush through it as well. Because I am enjoying it, but I've got to the part where the Black Panthers arrive.
Yep.
So
that is, I'm right there with you. I think we're in the exact same spot.
So I've just left that building with the Black Panthers, and whatever about to happen is about to happen next. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's some brilliant characters. You heard me saying last week. I think the main baddie's daughter is brilliant.
Yes.
I love some of the touches. I was on the submarine after we picked up the Black Panthers, and I think I was sitting having a drink or doing, I don't know what it was, but in the background, the big brute guy with the odd-shaped head was sitting playing chess with the professor scientist guy, and it was just there for a few minutes, and they started arguing and fighting like 2 minutes or so in. There was no loop, and the professor kicked all the chess pieces off all onto the floor, had a bit of a tantrum, and then sat down again and started to pick up the pieces, and they were having this big conversation in the background. And I just thought, I could have walked right past that. I could have walked away. I didn't have to sit and watch that. But there's just so much. It is made out of love. I think, again, I'm repeating myself from last week as well. If this had been Wolfenstein, the first one, this would have been the best game ever made. If you would never seen this, the originality of it all, the story writing's good, it looks beautiful, the gameplay's pretty good, but I don't know. Is it because the old blood was in the middle and it still feels pretty new? It feels maybe there wasn't enough of a gap.
Well,
is it that? Because it is a fantastic game. It looks good, plays good. Well, what's our problem here?
Well,
I don't know.
I think a bit of it is, they have been quick to come out. We had, the New Order, then we had the Old Blood, and now we have Wolfenstein 2. So, I think they have put a lot of games, 3 games in 3 years, basically, roughly. So I think there's a little bit of that fatigue there. I also think that although the weapons from Old Blood and the other 2 games are slightly different, they're kind of the same. So I think
I'm interested to see how the story wraps up because the way the story's going, it's as if he's on his last legs. So I don't know if they're going to be brave at the end and kill him off. That's not a spoiler because it's starting at the beginning. He's quite ill.
Right.
So I'm interested to see, are they going to take a brave move and kill him off, or are they going and the next game is with his
will this
child.
be BJ's last song and dance?
Yeah. And I would love that. That would be good. That would be brave. I love brave things in games, rather than and as Fraser said last week, they're going to keep on churning them out. And yes, it's probably selling quite well, and the last one did well. But it'd be lovely to see them move on to do new things. Yeah, because new things.
I think they will. I maybe they won't kill him outright, and it'll be a little bit of the mystery. He sinks into the Arctic Ocean, so maybe you don't really know what happens to him, but he's gone. I think they could easily take a break from Wolfenstein, and they could take that game engine, the game mechanics, and put it into something else, and it would be fantastic. because I think their shooting mechanics in that game are actually really, really good. I think that they can take that, again, the gameplay mechanics, so to speak, but I think they have to do more from a weapon standpoint, from a collectibles. I think they need to do different things with giving powers to you. So there's just, I want there to be more to do with my character than what there has been. So I don't know. I do see. I have the chat now actually up on my screen. Martin actually was saying they should do open world Wolfenstein. Man, I don't know. I wouldn't mind, an open world kind of Wolfenstein game, but then again, I think some of the charm of what we really like about these games is that they're linear.
It's tight. Yeah.
It's a good story. Tight. Wizards. So I don't know that I want them to go open world, but I think the game mechanics they have, built within this game franchise, they could take and put it into something new, and do some different things in terms of leveling and different types of weapons and maybe attachments, whatever. They could make a new game that would be fantastic using that kind of building blocks.
Wolfenstein. Have you listened to any of the records?
No,
You find a record. I found some fantastic ones. Some really good, like play on the Beatles sort of stuff with the German stuff. There was like was it the 4th? One of them came up was a song about Changeover Day, which was going to be 4th of July, and after the 4th of July, it was going to be you had to speak German because English is just so confusing, and we must speak German from now on. Just really, it's so clever, some of the stuff that they've done.
The writing is fantastic in this game. In fact, I love when BJ first meets and I guess it's the Black Panties. Somebody was saying, I didn't see who it was in the chat, but had mentioned that it's not the Black Panthers. They're called the Black Panties. That could be totally incorrect. I don't know. They remind me of the Black Panthers, so I'm going to run with Black Panthers to avoid being subjugated to, Senate inquiries for uncomfortable touching and talk.
I like the Black Panties with an angel face. What was that song?
Walk away, Robin. Walk away. But what I was getting at was that BJ starts talking to them, and of course they all have this dialogue from the '60s, and BJ is, he's this throwback to the 1940s, but I love that he suddenly started trying to pick up on their lingo and starts throwing a couple things out here and there. It's really good, clever writing, and I think that is the real strength of this game, as opposed to in the previous games. One of the real strengths was the mechanics of the game. This time, I'm saying it's the story that's really driving this. All right.
Abracadabra. Steve Miller Band. Black Panties with an... Yeah, that's what it is. Black Panties with an Angel Face. That's what it was. Yeah. Good song. Good song.
Yes.
Miller and Band. Yes, Steve. He was good.
Robin, anything else, my friend? Or should we move on?
Wolfenstein. Yeah. Do you know what? Play it. We're being a bit down on it, and we shouldn't be, because it's fabulous and it really does deserve to get all the plaudits.
Absolutely.
If you've never played a Wolfenstein game before, I'm sure the other ones are cheap now, but you could go straight into this and it would still be fine.
Yep.
And you would be getting the very, very best of the Wolfenstein experience.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I'm being critical of it, this very well is going to be in my top 5. I've been enjoying it that much, being able to look past some of the things that I'm being critical of. A game that I was really critical of earlier this year, and I have to say I'm coming I'm doing a 180, is Tom Clancy's Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands. I have been playing the heck out of this over the past few days and really enjoying this game.
Does it also look beautiful?
Yes, it is a gorgeous game. Ubisoft doesn't get enough credit for what they do in open world, but I think about The Division, I think about Assassin's Creed Origins, and I think now about Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. And these games they do open world really well. They look fantastic. This game has
towering above all of the others.
Almost. I won't say towering completely, but that was a little funny. There's no towers in Ghost Recon Wildlands. You don't, as far as I know, at least. I have not come across any kind of tower situation, but there's certainly lots of collectibles. You can fill your map up with a gazillion different icons to go and search out things.
Mm-hmm.
And can you happily play it by yourself?
Yes. Yeah. I've been playing, using my team to. I think one of the most satisfying things you can do when you're playing solo is setting up those sync shots. So you have a team of 4, including yourself, and so you can set up to have your other team members do synchronized shots on up to 2 members. I think that's the upgrade I have so far. So two bad guys, and then you yourself can be a third person, a third shot. And it's just it's kind of satisfying to hit that engage button, make those sync shots happen, and be watching through binoculars, and just see these guys just suddenly going down with little puffs of blood coming off. But yeah, it's been fun.
Is this something that you're trying to tell us, that you enjoy the mutilation? Is this what it is? You want to shoot people? Should we be homeland? Should we call them now, or do we check your drawers?
You can check my drawers, but no. I'm strictly a tough guy in video games. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. A surprise, enjoying the game. In some ways, I kind of it's funny because I also played another game that, for whatever reason, they remind me of one another, and I think it's because of the open worldness and traversing across large areas to get to different locations. I'm just going to go into the next game now. I popped my PUBG cherry.
Oh dear.
PUBG for life.
Yep.
That's dab. Doing a dab. Yeah. There we go.
So, part of the whole hiccups of this week's podcast in terms of the setup was because I got a new computer and had everything set up, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to check out PUBG. So I fired it up. I get 100% why people love this game. It is addictive in terms of the intensity and just that just trying to last out. That being said, I hate keyboard and mouse play on anything other than an RTS type game. Screw keyboard and mouse.
You just can't play on a computer.
Nope, I can't.
You're just stupid console boy.
Nope.
Console boy.
Fuck the keyboard and mouse. Yep, that's all I have to say to that. Give me a gamepad. I will look forward to this game when it releases out on the console, so I can have a proper gamepad in my hand.
So how did you do this? Was it shared on Steam with someone, or did you buy it?
It was indeed shared on Steam. So I played off hours on certain Marcanix's account, and
Jesus, get a room.
Just saying, he offered up. I said, okay, that's how it usually happens, Robin. Somebody offers it, and then somebody says yes, and the next thing you know, you've got it. Anyway, so yeah, PUBG.
Okay.
It was
so
fun.
I played a bit on PC, on the son's PC, and I played 2 or 3 games, and
right.
And I decided, yeah, okay, same sort of thing. I'm gonna wait till I have a controller in my hand.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I'm not sure if it's gonna grab me or not. It does seem like the sort of game that you need to invest your time in to become good at it,
I mean, yes and no. I think
because
what's
the
helpful,
Frasers and the Mike Chins and the Crews, the guys that are out there, they seem to have got completely and utterly addicted. I mean, Fraser is just lost in PUBG.
Well, but I mean, I get it. It's a solid, fun game. You know, and I think it is that survival component to it, the rummaging for stuff and trying to get yourself set up to be successful, and of course then being able to wait out, being able to play a tactical game versus the other people against you. I get all of that, and I get how that feeds into it and makes it you know, a very unique experience. You know okay, look, I don't play mouse and keyboard games. So when I started this game up, I was kind of hoping there was a tutorial somewhere. No. So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the different keyboard commands are. The only thing I knew was the stupid WASD thing. So I was like, all right, well, that's how I'm going to move. But then I'm like trying to figure out how to crouch. I'm trying to figure out how to pick things up. And then it's like, okay, F is for picking things up. I don't know why, but that key is for picking everything up or opening up doors.
Sorry, is it Y or
no, F
for picking things up?
F.
Oh, you don't know why, but you don't know why.
I don't know why.
What does the Y do?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
you need to get
past. I think C or X was duck, and then there was
There's a duck in it.
There's a duck in it. There's a duck in it. There's a prone. There's yeah. And then I had to figure out. I just guessed that R was for reload, which it turns out it was. So I was able to reload my gun. Got in a firefight. Finished 42nd. Felt somewhat good about that, being that I did not know any of
the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. See, that's not a coincidence. That's something, Magic Thighs. That is, you've got it. You've got the meaning of life from PUBG. Yes. 42. You didn't even realize you knew there's the answer. 42. You had the. I'm giving you the question. What is PUBG all about? 42.
There you go.
Yep. Well, do you know, we've only got 2 days to go. So my code from Dodgy Company hasn't arrived through yet. So I wonder how big a file it's going to be for me. I mean, is it a 2-day download? But this time next week, we will be no longer the PUBG console versions. I hear it's locked now to 30 frames, which is fine and dandy.
It is.
That's all right. I don't care. I don't mind. Right. So there you go.
We'll see. I'm hopeful that the console version plays as well as Magic Thighs. Oh, Jesus, yes.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Well, Kim. Sorry, Magic Thighs.
Yes.
You know where that's from. Yes, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, of course.
I figured that, yes.
The philosophers, yes. Magic Thighs. Roomfundle and Magic Thighs. Broomfundle. Yes. See, we are just two clever thinkers to come up with good stuff like that. That's what it is.
I just thinking Greg's got a new nickname, but that's all right. Yeah.
And Greg is now deep. Yeah, Magic Thighs. He's deep. Greg's deep thought.
Yep. All right. We're gonna move on. Let's talk about some news. Let's talk about some news. I think I've got. Hold on. Here.
Have we got any news?
We do. There's actually some news.
Okay.
Let me see if I can play this. Let me see if I can get this to work.
Good luck.
Nope. It doesn't want to work.
Here is the fucking news.
That's what I wanted to hear. All right. So there was actually 2 big events that happened this past week. The Video Game Awards happened. That's the quasi mid-year E3-esque event.
Isn't it amazing that's now became a big thing? You've said the 2 big things happened this week. A few years ago, we laughed at Jeff Keighley's attempt at this, but this year seemed bigger and fancier and swankier than ever, and really, really good actually, production-wise.
I agree with you, Robin. This actually was kind of what I hoped. I know. This was kind of what I'd hoped they would do with this entire thing. This entire time, I always wanted them to have it be more like, quote unquote, the Oscars. I wanted to be something that actually paid homage to the developers in a respectful way, and it wasn't just we're milking this to sell ad space which I mean they still do. Obviously this is a big advertising opportunity for gaming companies to put out their new games and get that information out there, build up hype. But it didn't feel like in so many years past when they had this, it felt like it was a bit of a joke. It was like people were getting up on stage, they were giving their presentations, and they didn't really care. They didn't, they weren't making a real honest effort. And they often had people emceeing the show that I felt just had no connection to the game industry. And it was kind of like, why did they choose this guy to host, the Game Awards when, he's pretty clearly not in tune with it. And this year, what was interesting was Jeff Keighley was kind of the MC of it all. He pretty much kind of led the show from start to finish, and I thought he was fantastic. I can't say.
Yeah, and I was right. They were in suits, wasn't he? He was in a suit.
Yeah.
It was in a trendy suit. It had credibility. It had a bit of class about it. Because it's like having Pele on the stage for like FIFA a few years ago.
Right.
That was fucking awful. Yes, Pele, good stuff. But what the hell? He's never played. The last game he played was Pong.
Right.
So it was nice that it's more mainstream, and that looked like a full auditorium. Yeah, I don't know if it was all nerds or not, or what the hell? Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's great.
It was good. It was good. Let's run through kind of what they announced and what we saw. So I pulled up a recap of the announcements and trailers. So I'm just going to kind of run through these. Let's comment when we want to. I think first up in terms of the big announcements, and I don't know if these are in order of when they happened or not, but I'm just going to run through them. So we had Bayonetta 3 got announced for the Nintendo Switch, which, by the way, I did get really tired of the Nintendo Switch commercials during the stream. Like every other second I heard a...
Frig, there's a thing. I have a problem. So I bought Jack Funk something party box, whatever the hell's called.
Yep.
And I thought, well, I'll buy it on the Switch because I can lift it and move it into different rooms, and it makes sense to buy it there, and we can do it. And so tonight, I thought, well, when we were over and there was other things going on, some of the adults, we were sitting playing one of the little ones that you draw stuff on and try to guess what it is. Anyway, my Switch has a problem. The dock has a little... I'm looking for help here, by the way. In the corner of it, there's a little green light. When you slide the Switch into the little letter holder,
right,
it goes into charge mode, and if you have your screen on, it takes over this HDMI port and up it pops onto the big screen. And we were playing it on the Switch on a table and thought, no, I'll throw it in here to the big screen, and a bit easier to see for everybody because there was 6 of us playing on our mobile phones into this thing. Anyway, this little green light is flashing, and it stopped going into the big screen mode and it stopped charging. And I was looking up on the internets about this, and this seems to be an issue with these, and it may be a problem that I may have to phone Nintendo to get a replacement letter holder. So if anybody else has had this experience with a constantly flashing little green light, please let me know at Bongo the Sane, please.
Flashing green light of death.
Yeah, in fact, that's what it's called.
Trademark.
When you look it up. Yeah. So if you've had that problem and you know there's a fix for it, please let me know. I was disappointed.
Robin,
anyway,
I think you should try wrapping your dock in towels. I don't know.
Okay,
it worked on the 360, so why not?
I'll do that. Any particular color?
Green.
Okay. To be sure. I believe Bayonetta 1, 2, and this new 3 are all coming to the Switch, which is cool.
Yep. So that's the thing. We got the new Hideo Kojima trailer for Death Stranding.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Come on, let's talk about this.
What's there to talk about? I feel
Holy
like
crap. What?
So weird.
It looked good. It looked,
It looks fantastic.
it had-
but
the
Kojima games always look fantastic.
Yeah, to quote Fraser, it had nice graphics.
Yes.
You know, sorry for the
And
mic.
then-
We're like, what? And then
Exactly.
there's a baby. I mean, it was the best baby game thing I've seen all day. That doesn't say much. You know, the baby looked cute. There's a baby, and he went into a dream, and it was Norman Reedus underneath the water all of a sudden, and there was this big monster tall thing, and it's like,
Have you
and
seen this
everybody
trailer
going,
yet?
"Oh, this is
I
so
haven't,
fantastic!"
but I've
You have to watch it. It's
Okay.
weird. It's out there. And people are going, "Oh, this is so esoteric. It's fantastic. I love this. I love what he's doing. It's fantastic." And
I want to punch those people in the face.
Yes.
Just straight
And
up.
we were on that WhatsApp thing. It's good. It'll catch on. Earlier on, we were chatting a wee bit about this. And you mentioned that Metal Gear Solid is a great game. Metal Gear Solid 5, fantastic. Fraser loves it. One fantastic game. But the only problem with it is the story seems to go nowhere, and there is a really weird story, and this seems to be it too.
Yeah.
But the problem with this is people like Norman Reedus, who came on stage with Kojima.
Oh my God. What the fuck
It's
was
like-
that about? They came on stage to be like, "Hey, we're here."
Isn't this fucking awesome?
And
We're
then,
so cool.
I mean, that was probably the low light of the Game Awards show. I forgot about that moment. I mean, literally, they bring Hideo Kojima onto stage with Norman Reedus, and they come up to the microphone, and Norman Reedus, I said Normus Reedus, that's a new name. Norman
Wow.
Reedus is like, I just really want to thank this guy. He's brilliant, and I can't believe I had this opportunity. He's really opened my eyes to this whole new world, which sounds like every other fucking actor I've
A
ever heard
whole
talking
new
about.
world
when they
with
talk
babies under the sea.
But yeah, so he says literally nothing, and then the guy that we probably all really wanted to hear from, Hideo Kojima, for him to say something insightful about what this game is, or maybe give us something. I don't even remember what he says, but it's like one word, and that was it. Yeah. And then they leave, they get off the stage, and I was just like, okay, whatever.
I had dreams. You baby.
Robin, by the way, I believe the chat is trying to help you out with fixing your Switch problem. They said that you can use a base. Oh, sorry, that's Kim making that suggestion to you. Never mind, Kim. Good suggestion. Baseball bat, Robin. That'll work just fine for turning that off.
We also had some great suggestions for new games with Steen in them. We had Halo Steen and Forza Steen 8 and Donkey Kong Steen. I suggested Vank Steen. So,
yeah, that's a little disturbing. Just, you know.
Anyway, I can't wait for Death Stranding. I can't wait for it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Robin? One thing I do want you to try and look up, if you can find it. You remember we had some controversial game statements. I think Mr. Webster put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah. I would love to talk about that after we get through this news here. So, anyway, so Death Stranding aired its video. We all left scratching our heads, and half the audience drooling over it because it looked fantastic, and the other half the audience saying, "I don't understand what I just saw." Dreams was also announced. This is Media Molecule's project they've been working on for quite some time. And so they had a trailer for that. I don't know. It's
it's like a dark version of Little Big Planet.
right.
Mm.
So then we had a trailer for Fade to Silence. This is a new THQ Nordic game. I did not catch this trailer, so I don't really know, other than it's set on the snowscape Nordic kind of situation. So, there you go. Fortnite Battle Royale announced a 50 versus 50 mode. That doesn't sound fun to me.
That's team deathmatch.
Right, it's just giant team deathmatch.
It's not battle royale. It's not battle royale. Yeah.
Then we saw, what was it, GTFO,
Get the fuck out.
Yep. So that's from the Payday developers, I believe. Then there's In the Valley of Gods, which looked a little interesting. And this is from the Campo Santo.
Oh, it's
production
that's
guys.
Campo Santo. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that could look like that. That could be fun. Then
I'll give them another go after Firewatch. So yeah, good stuff.
yeah. Then we saw Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, the Champions Ballad DLC, which I'm looking at the image on the story. So again, I caught bits and pieces of the Game Awards on and off, so I didn't see all the release trailers that actually came out. But it looks like Link is on a motorcycle.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's disturbing. That's like what?
Yeah.
Why?
When did that become a thing? Metro Exodus had its new trailer. Man, that game looks good. So I'm pretty excited for that. If you haven't played the Metro series before, they're pretty cheap now. I think you can usually find them on almost all the deals. Highly recommend picking up one of those games, and you can pick up any of them. I think they all play fantastic. Then from there, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, they announced the Miramar map. This is their new desert map. So that's a thing. And that will be coming this year for the PC version. And I think they said it was going to be until 2018 that it was going to launch, or maybe even 2019 for the console version. So there's going to be a considerable amount of wait time for that new map to come out. That was a little disappointing. Sea of Thieves got a release date of March 20th, I believe, 2018 for the PC and the Xbox One. So there, you Sea of Thieves lovers. I know, Robin, you're a big fan of Sea of Thieves. Kim, I think you like playing it as well.
Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
And they had they had the Smith and Smitherson Accounting. So this is from the Stanley Parable developers. So I didn't catch this, so I don't know. It looks cutesy.
Yeah, Stanley Parable. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Overrated shit. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Then we got to have a VR title announcement. Vacation Simulator. This did not do anything to move me towards wanting VR at all. But if you have VR, at least it's something that you get to look forward to. Then let's see. From Software teased their new project, which I think it was just like an obscure shot of like a bloody bone or something. But it was the title is called Shadows Die Twice. Which,
How can that be? How do shadows die twice?
I don't know.
So, okay, let's actually think this through.
How do shadows die? The sun comes
There's a
out.
shadow. So I switch a different light on and the shadow disappears.
Oh, I've got it. I literally think I've got it.
Okay.
You get a shadow from the sun, and the sun sets, and the moon comes out, and you get a shadow from the moon, and the moon goes away. So every time you go through the 24-hour cycle, your shadow dies twice.
So you're going to stand in the same place? Or
Yes, I'm not going to move anywhere.
What? Okay.
All right.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Soul Calibur 6 also got announced. So Soul Calibur fans, the franchise making its comeback. So if you like that game, exciting, huh? Then there was a teaser for a game called Witchfire, dark fantasy shooter. Witchfire. It's from the being developed by the Astronauts.
The Astronauts.
The Astronauts, yes.
The astronaut.
No,
like John Glenn and crew and those guys.
No.
Is that what he does now?
Maybe. No, these are the guys that made The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. So the developer studio is called The Astronauts.
This one looked good to me. So, I mean, I don't know if it's going to come to the Xbox or not, but if it does, you know.
Yeah. It has promise. Then
it has glowing monsters and decaying environments.
Yes.
Ooh.
The game So the next game announced, I thought this was Sony's game, End of Days. completely not End of Days. World
Nope.
War Z got announced, which looks an awful lot like End of Days. You've got hordes of zombies running super fast, piling on top of one another. I mean, I was shocked at how much it reminded me of End of Days. So,
yeah, but they're saying it's going to be more Left 4 Dead sort of thing. So, wow, we need more Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm all for it if it's going to be Left 4 Dead, but it again, just the way the zombies were coming at everybody with the speed and kind of their horde mentality or whatever. I mean, if you go back to End of Days when you saw those reveal trailers on the PS4, and I hope I'm getting the name right. I think it is End of Days. Anyway,
I think so.
that comparing to this, I mean, they look like the identically same game. I mean, maybe slightly different perspectives, but I mean, I was thought for sure this was a Sony trailer. So World War Z.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't release that around the same time the movie came out, to be honest.
I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Well, I'm sure it's a good thing. I'm sure it's a good thing because it didn't have the rush through development to make it meet up to the movie. But yeah, World War Z. I don't know. Zombies starting to wane on me a little bit, which
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
So, when is World War Z coming out? Is it
2018. I did not see a specific date. I just saw 2018, and coming to all platforms. So,
Why do you think you say Z?
Z or Z? I say Z
Yeah.
because America.
Well, I know, but why do we say Z? Because like zoo is not a Z.
Why
There's
do
no
you
D in a zoo.
Why do you say film?
Oh,
Mars. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're films. They're not movies. A movie is like a moving picture. It's moved on. It's a film now. It's
Right? No, but
movies
it's just film. It's not film. There's no filling it. It's film.
aluminium.
Damn it.
Okay,
There we
let's not
go.
go back here again.
I know.
Sorry, I'm sorry I started it.
No,
World
no,
War
it's-
Z.
It's all good. And then somewhere along the line, they actually had a bunch of awards, and
Oh.
amazingly, this article does nothing to go through the awards, but I know
Not at all.
Link
Zelda
won for Game of the Year. That really is the only one that's really, really needs to be discussed. Good for Zelda. I do know Cuphead won a couple different awards, so I was kind of excited for them just because, small team making success is always a good thing to see in this industry.
Exactly.
And this actually was a bit of a surprise. Horizon Zero Dawn was actually a shutout. Did not get any awards from the Game Awards ceremony. That surprised me. I thought for sure that game would have taken home 1, maybe 2 awards, and it did not get any. So the Sony hate, the fanboys are going to be screaming about that for months. All right. Let's go over to, and this is a good lead-in, by the way. See how see how I did this, huh? So the next thing we're going to talk about, no hate, Robin, no hate. PlayStation Expo. So the PlayStation Experience, they had that just a few days ago. Didn't seem like there was a ton that got announced in terms of new stuff. The Wipeout Omega Collection had an announcement trailer. Let's see here. God of War saw another trailer. They talked about the fact that the game, actually, this was some interesting news. It's going to be between 25 and 35 hours long, so a very meaty game, which is definitely new for that series. There was Inside Dreams. Yeah, we saw that again.
Donut Country. I mean, there was quite a lot of PSVR stuff at it.
Yes, lots of VR stuff.
I think some of the they showed what's that thingy?
Monster Hunter World.
The French guy. What was the French guy?
Oh, Yves Guillemot.
about the robots. Detroit.
Oh,
There's
Detroit
a bit of
Become Human.
Detroit stuff there
Yep.
again. Yeah. But I think one of the biggest thing was this Monster Hunter world, which looks gorgeous.
Right.
I'm just a bit frightened of it. That there's fight a monster, fight a bigger monster. I don't know that is some people's things, but I don't know if it's my thing.
Well, yeah, and that game is coming out actually. I think this month or next month. I don't know. Monster Hunter World.
Not sure.
Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe I'm just off base, but maybe it's not coming out for a while. But either way, it's a game that we've known about, so it wasn't necessarily new, but I think they showed off some new stuff within it. And then the real kind of there were two big kind of revelations. One, Andrew House talking about leaving. That
retiring,
is something I think, a lot of people are not happy about, because I think Andrew House, even though I gave him a hard time of looking like the Keebler elf, I think he was good for Sony. But then they had the announcement for Medieval, and so it's not known if this is going to be a remaster or a remake, but they showed it running off of the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it was in 4K. And so I think might be exciting. I don't know. I don't recall this game having a huge following, so it's a curious remaster. But they are bringing it back, and again, not sure if it's a remaster or a remake. So maybe they're going to kind of give it a real actual facelift as opposed to just remastering it and giving it better resolution. They're going to actually bump it up and do something more with it. So maybe add new levels, that kind of thing. Who knows? But yeah, so that was PlayStation Experience. Not a ton of information coming out of it, but that event, and it's one thing that I think Microsoft and Nintendo both could stand to do a better job with, and Nintendo actually, they're kind of doing it with their Nintendo Directs. But you have these smaller events outside of E3, away from that time frame too. So it's paced out. You had the Paris Games Week, and then you have PSX, and it just helps kind of generate that hype continuing on through the course of the year. And I think Microsoft in particular certainly could do better at doing that. Nintendo, I think they just need to keep doing the Nintendo Directs, but maybe give them a little bit more hype than they do, as opposed to suddenly there's a Nintendo Direct out. Maybe they should promote them a little bit more. But I think it's a good event for the industry.
I think PlayStation did better. I think Microsoft could have done with even using the Game Awards to go, hey, by the way, guys, this stuff is this is what we're working on. This is stuff just to forget. Next year we are bringing out some stuff that you didn't know about. But maybe they're not. Maybe there isn't anything really new in there. But I think part of the problem as well is that the internet is so immediate now. So as soon as they have something quick to share, it seems to get shared immediately. And then by the time it gets around to the show, guys like us get bored because we've seen it all before. Right. So, I mean, out of that stuff for the PlayStation stuff, there's nothing really new. It was a lot of PSVR stuff, revamping stuff from before. Where in the olden days, E3 and things like that, we didn't really know what was coming, but now everything is leaked to death. And I'm a great believer in what Bethesda have done over the years. Is like, here it is, it's out in 2 months or it's out in 3 months. Great, do that, please. Right. I don't like this 2 year, 3 year lead-in time. No. Anyway.
Not for you. I mean, at the end of the day, what I like though that these events do, like I said, it just kind of helps keep that hype going. It helps keep you being excited about the platform, about the games coming, even if it's just seeing it again. As long as it's not, as you were kind of alluding to, 2-3 years out where it's, you're just waiting forever for it. But if you're doing it within that year, like God of War right now, it's a perfect time to be hyping that up. Hype it up. It's coming out in a few months, I guess technically it's coming out next holiday, I think. But Yeah, I mean, why not get the hype train going for it a little bit again, and start ramping that up.
Sorry, next holiday, that's Christmas 2018. So it's a year away.
I don't know for sure. It might be sooner. And so full disclosure, I don't know the release date. It might be a March release date because I know Sony is pretty good about getting March games in. So I know they'll have something in that window. If it's God of War or something else, I don't know.
Hey, sorry, was that game with the zombies called Days Gone? Is that the one with the
Yeah, I was
Days
Days
Gone?
It was Days Gone, yes.
Yeah, Days Gone.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
cool. Yeah, well, do you know, it's great to have these little extra events anyway,
Yeah.
and if the public can get into those. I wish there was a bit more, they come to Mexico and do some of them. That would be nice.
Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, that would be lovely. Hey, speaking of something lovely,
Mm-hmm.
we do not have a news quiz.
No,
No
3
Damn it.
news
weeks.
quiz. I know.
I will
Jason.
not be caught up with Mark. Damn it.
I know. Jason Johnson apologizes. He's been having a rough few past weeks. So hey, you know what? He gets a pass. The man has been
Damn.
there for us. But
Well, if you take this opportunity to ask Kim and I anything you want, then take anything, and it's an AMA with Kim and Robin. I mean, what would you ask?
All
Is
right.
there, is there anything you've ever been curious about me? Or we'll be completely honest with you. You can ask anything. Kim and I. Okay, Kim, yeah?
Sure,
Anything.
why not?
all right.
Yeah.
I'm
AMA.
going to start first with Robin.
Okay.
Robin, have you ever had your hair grown out longer than your shoulder length? So like long hair, like we saw from Chinny, anything like that? Has your hair ever
Never.
actually been long? It's always been short.
80s style down to the nape of the neck, but no, I've never had long hair. No, never. I've never had a rat tail.
Okay.
Or anything like that. No. But I have had my hair colored when I worked in the hairdressing trade as a salesperson.
What color was it? Can I
Yes.
ask?
It was fucking orange.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was carrot orange. Yeah, I was at a conference in London, and I needed the trainers or the technicians needed a couple of models, and a couple of the salespeople went up to have some semi-permanent color put in, and they semi-permanent me, the bastards, with carrot orange hair. Yeah. It was with me for several weeks. Yeah, but I know I've never had hippie hair.
Never had
No.
the hippie hair. All right. Okay. And Kim, along the lines of hair, I know you have dabbled in hair color before, so we've
Yeah.
seen you have some different hairstyles in terms of coloring. And this may already be answered on my end because I may already know the answer to this, but what is the craziest hair color you've ever sported?
Oh, purple for me.
Yeah, I had a like a magenta, almost purple color hair once.
Was it all purple or was it just like a
Yes.
strand? Okay.
Yeah, no, it was all purple. It was one of my first times ever like actually dyeing my hair myself, which now I don't do because it scares me. But it was supposed to come out like a medium brown reddish kind of color, and it was all right until I went to my living room and we had this like huge ceiling fan overhead and the light was on and I walked in and my best friend at the time, she stopped, she looked at me, she's like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "What?" Because I thought it looked good in the bathroom because the bathroom wasn't apparently as well lit. And she's like, your hair is purple." And I'm like, "What?" And so about a bottle of shampoo later, I finally got it down to where it needed to look like. So yeah, I sported the Joker do for a while.
That is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I was in Florida a few years ago, and some of the kids, it must be, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago now, and some of the kids over Christmas time decided to color my sideburns completely bright purple. It stayed with me for quite a while, which was a bit of a problem in work because it didn't go as quick as it was supposed to. We had one of the kids that was with us for a while. She had Smurf blue hair.
Yeah, that's becoming a thing again.
Yeah.
And I say again.
It was
because-
a nightmare.
yeah.
It got blue everywhere. The dye. Oh, I should do it so often. Everything was blue. Yeah. So. But it was cool. Blue hair. Like a Smurf.
All right.
Where are we all coming?
I'm going to circle back to you, Kim. Have you ever...
Oh, another question.
Yeah, I'm going to do a two.
Come on.
Two.
Not so tame. Come on. Get in there.
Well, I was just going to ask, Kim, have you ever been outside of the United States?
No.
No, never.
Not ever. Nope.
Okay. Probably better that you don't. That's okay.
Probably, yeah. No.
Especially don't go to that dodgy Canada. Just saying.
Christ,
Almost
no.
did that once.
And then Robin, boxers, briefs, or boxer briefs? And you have to give an answer. I do not want to hear Commando. No.
None of the above. Okay. Can we have a look? Can we have a look and see what you classify these as?
Now I'm a little afraid.
Yeah, boxer briefs. Would that be correct? Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I like the boxer. God Almighty! I like the boxer feel, but I like a little support for halfway down my leg because it catches at my knee.
Right.
So,
every woman is swooning right now listening to this.
Yeah.
All right, Kim, why don't you save us? Let's move away from boxer briefs and let's talk about new releases because there are a few games coming.
Sure. Let me get myself over there. Here are your new releases for December 9th through the 15th. We have Loco Roco 2 Remastered for the PS4 on December 9th. And of course, we have PUBG for the Xbox One game preview on December 12th. So, I'll get excited for that. Fallout 4 VR for the Vive on December 12th. Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition for the PS4 and Xbox One and PC on December 12th. And then we have Okami. There's probably somebody yelling at me. I do not know this. Okami HD for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on December 12th.
All right. Thank you for that. I know we've talked about the monthly freebies in the past, so we can run through them real quickly. Xbox One games with gold, Warhammer End of Times Vermintide is available now through the 31st. Back to the Future, the game 30th Anniversary Edition, i.e. game you probably don't want to play, is available December 16th through January 15th on Xbox One. And then 2 backwards compatibility titles for your games with gold. Child of Eden, which I absolutely hated, December 1st through the 15th. And Marlo Briggs and the Mask of Death, that's your Indiana Jones simulator, December 16th through the 31st. And the Banana Hiding Simulator game also coming out next month, just for Robin. PS Plus games for December: Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition out for PS4. Kung Fu Panda: Showdown of the Legendary Legends. That's a mouthful. Then you have Until Dawn: Rush of Blood, which is a PSVR required game. And then That's You, which is a PlayLink game, which that's kind of a thing that I think they're really trying to kind of push. X-Blaze Lost Memories is a PS3 title, as well as Siberia Collection, another PS3 title. And then if you are a PS Vita owner, you are in luck. You get a couple games, Forma 8 and Wanted Corp coming out. Or Wanted Core, I guess not Corp, that would be Robin lingo. Oh yeah, that's me taking shots.
That's not really fair. You're giving an opinion of me. I mean, that's sort of a premature evaluation. It really is,
Robin, I would like to talk about something near and dear to your heart.
Oh my Johnson.
Again, the ladies swoon.
The year of living gaga lastly. Hashtag YOLG log. And victory achieved. My goodness, what a year. Full credit to us all. So what Victory Achieved is, if you're listening and you've never ever sent in a Victory Achieved, do it. People win money. They really do. We really do send them money. It's cool. And they buy stuff with that money. or sometimes they put it away in a drawer somewhere, and then someone steals it somewhere down the line. So what Victory Achieved is finish your games. For God's sake, finish them. You've paid for them. Finish them. Finish it. And when you come to the credits at the end of the game, stand in front of your television screen with your camera, take a selfie shot with it, and you tweet that off on the Twitter thing to @OC_podcast, and you put a little hashtag sign and write Victory Achieved. And then usually me will get it and retweet it to all our millions of followers, and you'll be famous.
Famous,
you will be. Famous. And then we enter in the prize draw. The next draw is coming up soon on New Year's Eve, and you're going to win $20 or 15 squids to spend on PSN, XBL, Steam, Nintendo, or Ann Summers. Whatever you want.
Yeah, disclaimer. Not everybody will win $20. Only one lucky winner will win $20.
Oh, shit. Mark, you've been doing it wrong. That's why you're skint, mate. So, the people that have been part of the Year of Living Dangerously, thank you very much for your support this year. I'm going to wrap it up. I'll keep on saying that. We're going to wrap it up around Christmas time. People that have finished games for their Year of Living Dangerously this year, this week, Mark Anix finished Gears of War 4. He's been on a real roll.
He has been.
Hutch DBL finished Grim Fandango. Great game. Classy. John Mouse, who was finished with the Year of Living Dangerously, came back and he finished Rebel Galaxy. Terraform finished Strike Suit Zero. That's it. I've never had a completion of Strike Suit Zero. That was a pretty crappy game. Good lad.
Yeah.
Dennock, TQ, he finished Grand Theft Auto 5. Good lad. Mark Anix also finished Halo 5 Guardians. And also our fantastic Australian friend, Mr. Managi, 1994, finished Halo 5 Guardians as well. So, good lads. See?
Right.
So, and they're, whether they're on your log or whether they're not, they're entered into the draw. And the more games you finish, the more chances you have. If you're not in it, you can't win it. So, Thank you. Keep on playing along. And for all of those people that completed those games, you get a fantastic live.
Victors achieved. Victors achieved. You have just. I can't do it. I can't do it live.
Just put them down now.
Here we go. No, here we go. You put me on the spot. I got to do it. All right,
Get
here we
your
go.
jingle bells ready. Come on.
Jingle bells are ready. That's the do-over. Victors achieved. Victors achieved. You have received a Victors achieved.
Sorry, you were muted. You do that again?
Damn it. Damn it. All right, moving on. I think it's time we can actually close this show out. I think we have done enough nonsense to get us to this point. So, Robin, this is a very important time of the show. I need you in your sexiest way, Robin, to read through our closing notes.
Oh, goodness me. Okay. Right. Non-controversial way to do this. How do you all be part of the conversation? I can't do it. I can't do it, Nicole. Okay, look, if you want to join in with us tonight, the guys in the chat or live chat have been really funny, and even now they're talking about things. Halo 5 gardeners.
Halo 5 gardeners.
And Sarah's saying that I like gardening.
Right.
It's just so good. So, Martin and Sarah and the crew and Night Raven 19 have been so good in that chat
been
tonight.
On point tonight, man. They have been killing it.
So really good. Really, that it makes it fun for us. Anyway, to get into part of that, watch us live on twitch.tv/OC podcast or on Mixer or on YouTube at 11 o'clock in the UK, 3 p.m. on the West Coast, and 6 p.m. on the East Coast, and 2 a.m. in Moscow. Please, 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 if you can, leave us a review somewhere. YouTube, iTunes, Mixer, anywhere you can. Write a note. Send an email and say, hey, we like yous. And you can send an email. You can do that. And the email address is podcast@ocpod.com. We have lots of groups. You'll find us on PS4 and Xbox One. And we have this thing called Discord. And if you go to discord.ocpod.com, you can come in and the guys chat away there. And Lucas also on Facebook and especially on Twitter as well. We do lots of stuff on Twitter. It's fun. And on Twitter, the sort of stuff that we get up to is things like we ask questions like, reply with a controversial video game opinion that you have.
Yes, and we should mention that right now.
We should, because we were supposed to a while ago.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
Richard Webster started this, the almost married man.
Almost married man.
And so I'm going to flick through some of these things that he said. He said, horse armor was worth it. Which is okay. Richard Natras, he said, The Witcher 3 is too long and very boring. He also said that Red Dead Redemption is an average game.
What?
Hate mail to Richard Natras. Stephen Bull, Cy Bull, he said, No Man's Sky exceeded all expectations and was a bargain at 60 quid. You will never, ever be my accountant, Cy Bull. Stephen Ratcliffe, Steffi Business, he said Mass Effect 3's ending was brilliant. I actually never knew there was a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was a problem until hipsters started complaining.
Right. Didn't know it was a problem until you were told it was a problem.
Saibul also says that Jeff Minter is a fucking hack and simply rips off other people's ideas for the worst. I love Jeff Minter, but I totally agree with you. But the nice thing about it was he got away with it for many years. Goodness me. Somebody called Greg DeLacy at OC_Murphy's Law said,
Character.
Microtransactions are not all evil and bad. Discuss.
It's true. They're not.
I agree with that.
If they're done right, they can be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like there was a really good example recently there in Star Wars Battlefront.
Like
it was a really, really good
implementation.
Yes, very, very good. Richard Natras also says that he hates horses in games and found riding across boring deserts really boring. I think it's a reference to Red Dead again. You're going to burn in hell, Richard Natras. You really are. Flower collecting. Let's see what Red Dead. Skyrim hasn't been released enough, in his opinion. That's Alan Brown.
Oh.
I hope there's some sarcasm there.
Yes.
Bongo the Saiyan says, anyone who thinks Aliens Colonial Marines is a great game needs their head examined.
Wholeheartedly agree with that statement. There's nothing controversial about that at all.
No. John Mouse says Kane and Lynch games were good and need a remake.
No. No.
John Mouse also says that Mario is overrated and Zelda is a poopy.
Possibly.
Bongo the Saint says, anyone who thinks Aliens Colonial Marines is a crap game needs their head examined.
Completely controversial. That is ridiculous.
Oh, dearie me. What else do we have here?
Night Raven.
People said
wait. We need to ban Night Raven now. He said, "I love that alien game."
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, there was several people came out there as well saying that alien lives matter. You know, it really does. The Switch doing what my 1080p 7-inch screen tablet could do in 2013 at nearly double the price. Hybrids, for fuck's sake. Oh, my tablet didn't have HD Rumble. Okay, you stick with that. Phil Olsen, he's with Bongo. He loved Alien Colonial Marines. Yes, he's a nice man. God. Phil Olsen says, I can't see the appeal of Mass Effect. Jesus, Phil, it's alien shagging. That's the appeal of Mass Effect. For goodness sake. What else we have here? Was there anything else? Gonzo says, I don't like any of the Halo games before Reach.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I can see ODST because that was a disappointment to me. 2 was a disappointment just because of the cliffhanging ending, but the first one was really good, and the third one I thought was good. So he's wrong.
Okay. RC Parkwood, he says Lego Rock Band was the most fun Lego game.
Possibly, never played it. Can't disagree.
Oh. Sarah RCGC, she says she didn't really care for Resident Evil 7. Don't know. Scary. Mightn't be somewhere I would go to. Dadtagonist John says Super Mario Odyssey isn't that amazing.
Can't say that too loud. You will be flogged by the internet fanboys.
I think he has been. Definitely. And was there anything else that we had there? Oh. And I think we're clear. That was fantastic, wasn't it?
That was good.
Some really, really good feedback there. Absolutely good. Yeah, really good. Really good. And there have been lots of people.
All credit to Mr. Webster for getting that question out there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, to see it, you're a brilliant guy. You know, slotting xenomorphs, too much fun. You know, there's so many Aliens Colonial Marine fans out there. You know, they are
so
those guys
misguided.
have taste. They have so much taste.
No,
It's
if you
fantastic.
said Alien Isolation, I'm with you. I'm with you right there. Brilliant, good game. Fantastic. Set the right mood. Aliens Colonial Marines? No.
It didn't look great, and the voice acting was crap. But you were shooting aliens with those guns, and you could set up the guns that shoot in the corridor automatically, and it was brilliant. It was class. It had atmosphere. It didn't look great.
No, it didn't have.
What's the big problem?
Did you play the game? The AI was
Yeah.
shit. The AI was just horrible. We're not getting into this now. We're wrapping the show up.
The AI wasn't bad. Why was the AI bad?
It was horrible. Down in the sewer level with the radioactive aliens that were blind and they couldn't see you unless you made sounds, and then suddenly they would find you instantly, but you didn't make a sound and they still found you instantly. Yeah,
that's like people who say Donald Trump's a dick. They really don't understand. For God's sake. Do you know? Anyway.
All right.
So we would love to hear from you. Send us an email. Send us a tweet about anything at all. We will read it out.
Except for
no matter how
Alien
crazy
Colonial
it
Marine
is.
tweets. We don't want any of that.
Yeah. So lovely. Thanks very much. Please email the show at podcast@ocpod.com. Tweet us at ocpodcast at OC_podcast. And that's about it. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yes.
Let's get out of here.
I think, Kim, you should shout out first.
Okay, well, as usual, shout out to you guys. It's always fun. I enjoy coming on here and doing our thing. On to our shouters. We have Night Raven 19. Martin is still in there. RCGC is in there. We've had Soul Brother in there. So, chat's been hopping tonight. So, it's been good. So, you guys are the reason we do this thing. So keep showing up and, apparently leave us a review anywhere, somewhere. It doesn't matter. Just leave us a review. So that's it for me. How about you, Robin?
Oh, God. Yeah. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, John Mouse. Happy birthday. Yep. 1 hour ago, John Mouse turned 51 years old. 51. Congratulations, John Mouse, for making it to 51.
He looks
you don't look-
fantastic for that age.
He does, doesn't he?
Awesome.
Damn it. He's had a tuck and he's had a suck. He's perfect. Hopefully he'll have at least one of those things today for his birthday. So, or maybe both. It would be
There
good.
you go. Hey.
Yeah, so big shout out to him. Big shout out to Parsnip. Man, it's a new chapter. I'm so, new chapter. I look forward to this year, or not this year, because there's not much of it left, but over the next 12 months, I hope to take a little skip over to England, jolly old England, and we shall get together and talk about Wolfenstein and the silly old Hun. So you're going to be closer to lots of people who are your buddies, and we'll be there to support you in your new life. So good lad. That's me.
All right.
And Mark, get well soon. And Rich, thank you for the message today.
Yes.
That's it.
All right. Thank you to the both of you for making the show. Thank you for everybody for putting up with the technical challenges that we
The
have.
bells.
Yeah, and the bells. They've been constant.
The bells. The bells. The bells torture me. No.
To that I say, Robin, I have this, and I'm going to put some Irish accent on now, and I will start saying film all the time. Yes.
Get your lead, man.
Aluminum and then. Anyway, thank you to both of you. Thank you to the audience. Look, if you want to catch us, remember, tune in every Saturday, 3 p.m. on the Pacific, 6 p.m. on the East Coast, 11 p.m. in the UK, and you can come in, watch us live, take part in the chat, whatever you want to call it. We love you guys for being part of the community. And if you're not part of the community yet, but you're thinking you want to find some good gamers, then you know what? Hang out with us.
Stay away from here.
No. Embrace the crazy. Embrace the crazy, and just have some fun with it. And you're gonna find some great people to game with. Whatever platform, there are people, whether it's PS4, Xbox, PC. We've got people from all walks of life here, even Nintendites. That's the new term, Nintendites. We love you all equally, some maybe a little bit more than others. And to that, we say adios. Have a good night. Game on. We will see you later. It's my job now to stall long enough to get some outro music playing, which hopefully it's happening sometime now.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.